Okay, hi everyone. This is part two. Listen, I am being very transparent because the video had cut off. But what we're doing here at Mastering Your Craft is that we're just talking about acting. I'm Hadassah, your host, and then we're returning with very special guest, LeVera Sutton, who is also an actress, but she also specializes in background acting. And then in the previous video, you're going to see where she's talking about getting into that. So I just want you to finish kind of that last part that you were talking about. You were talking because the question was, what is it like at this time to, to do acting and background acting? And I just wanted you to finish up just the tip, because if you want to know, you'll go to the other video and you'll watch it. Okay, so
all right.
that last part is to what it means for you to be doing this right now.
It means I'm walking my path. It means I'm following my passion. And like I was saying in the last video, after my first speaking part, it was an inner peace. It was an inner peace. And it's just like when I was in school, when I took my first class to follow my path. If there's an inner peace, it is a spiritual experience. I'm not talking religion. I'm talking your soul is touched, because you come together with what your purpose is on this earth. And my wish is to die at peace and on my feet,
Oh my goodness.
And
I share that prayer and that dream. That is the way to go.
Then you claim that and it will happen.
Happy.
And check this out. Okay. At this age and at this stage in my life, don't you ever give up, because you're answering your calling, whether it be 10 years ago or 10 years down the line. If this is what you're supposed to do, you're going to do it. And you will be successful and fulfilled in doing so. Now, let me tell you about the law of attraction. I didn't believe. But they say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I'd heard about The Secret. Yeah, right. One day I sat down and I watched it. It was free online, blew my mind. I envisioned something for the following day and it happened. So I started doing that. And I remember maybe 6 months ago, because I've been doing a lot of self-tape since COVID. I mean, tons of auditions, 2 years of auditions. And one day I said, you know what? I want to be called. I don't want to audition. I want them to just call and say, hey, I want you. You start. And then also, because there's so many Brits that come this way, I was thinking, yeah, well, maybe I could do something over in Britain. Should I go pack mom up or leave her with a sitter, and I go to Britain? Didn't I get a call from my manager, sent me a notice. A big company, very well-known company, sent a message on a Thursday evening stating, this is not an audition. We want to fly you to London on Tuesday. You stay for 4 days and then we fly you right back. Okay?
Excuse me?
I know. So I got a 2 for 1 of my prayers within 6 months. It's probably shorter than 6 months. And guess what? I couldn't go. Why? Because I procrastinated about getting my passport renewed. I said, okay, I'm going to have to eat that one.
I know. It's painful. It's painful. I know.
Yes. But I'll tell you what, didn't I get my passport? Oh, that's another little secret. I did my homework. I mean, it hurt. And so that was like Thursday, and I happened to speak with a friend about passports. You can go to Connecticut, get on that train to Connecticut. There's a library there, easy instructions. It's walk-in. And because I followed everything online, I only waited 20 minutes. And when I was seen, it took 7 minutes to process. Now, you know, I was kicking
Oh,
myself. And of course, I did the rush 5 weeks. My little nephew keeps saying, Tia, why don't you contact them and tell them you have your passport now? I thought about it. And every time he keeps asking me, so I'm crazy enough. I might write the CEO of that big production company and say, hey, if you want to use me for future use, I'm here. But you know, I be careful what you ask for, because you will get it. You will get it. And so I said, I just take it as, okay, then something bigger is coming my way. And this is my
yes.
preparation. I have my passport now. So just follow your path.
Yeah.
Follow, I mean, if you want to be an artist, if you want to be a cobbler, make shoes, make hats, just follow your dreams. Okay.
You know what? It's so funny because, okay, so that ties into what we were talking about before. And now I get to tell this story because, and the reason I asked the question about acting at this point in your life, at this age, is because there are lots of seminars all across the country in New York and whatnot. Okay, so let me tell you this story. Okay, so there was this. I'll be vague about who and what when, because I just want to get the point across. All right, so one of the normal seminars that are often given to actors is how to get an agent. And a lot of people have those seminars all the time, right? Because the idea, you need an agent, you need an agent. Okay. So I go to this place that everyone frequents and uses. And of course, it's in their best interest to have the seminar. So this was interesting because this particular one was also going to tie in how to get an agent, but this one was specifically about pilot season. Okay. So, you know, everyone's going there with bated breath because they also advertised that somebody from one of the major networks was going to be there. So I get there, you know, you know what? You go there, you know, it starts at like 7:30. I get there at 6 so I can get my seat because people are not playing.
Yeah.
I see a lot, and you know who was there? I'm looking around, I'm looking at people who obviously still have the dream, but they've settled into regular work life.
Yeah.
They're doing artistry on the side, or that's the tone that I picked up. Like, I still have this dream. This is my last chance. I need to figure this out. Or there's, you know what? It's like, no, what's happening is that you're moseying along. You probably don't know what to do. You're in youthful mindsets. What I mean by that is that you're in the mindset that all of the other agents and casting directors have told you have to look young, you have to be young, but then you're also moving into character actor. So you're trying to get this. So you're there trying to figure out where you can get in and fit in. So that's why everyone was so hungry. But these were obviously middle-aged people. These were people who were like on the outskirts they're scratching at the door. And I'm there too. I'm there, I'm scratching. Here's what happened. You wait, everyone's anticipating LeVera. Then finally it begins. And there's this young 24-year-old red freckled face guy that comes in, and the first thing out of his mouth, because that anticipation period was everything, because everything was happening. People were networking, people were talking, they were excited, and even the place was hosting. And then as soon as this guy gets up, he says this. He says, welcome, you know, I'm going to talk to you about what it takes to get into pilot season. Now, mind you, this was probably in July, August. So everyone's, again, with bated breath. We want to know, we want to get on television for this upcoming season. And you know what he says? He says, pilot season has already been cast for this year. So everyone in that room, you can feel that secretly that the breath has been taken out of the room.
Yeah.
Now he's going to talk about pilot season. He's going to talk about how to get an agent and what they're expecting. Then, of course, people ask questions and they end with this pitch. The pitch being
money.
Well, here's what you do. You come out to Los Angeles, where we put you into a 6-week program where we teach you how to audition. Of course, you have to audition to be selected and chosen to go to LA. And then at the end, they're going to introduce you to agents, managers, whatever, to see what happens. Now, of course, you have to buy the plane ticket. You have to find your own lodging. You have to pay tuition for the program. And I remember going down there trying to ask questions, and the guy didn't even take me serious. Because I was like, oh, that's right. I don't look like Charlotte Johansson. That's right. I look like me. So he was like, you know how someone's listening to you, but they're not even looking at you. They're just like, okay, well, here's the brochure. And I'm like, thanks. And the freckled faced guy, now mind you, he was separate from these people that came and gave the spiel. The freckled faced guy stood over there because he worked for the network. Everybody went over there, and it was just everybody handing them that business card with your headshot on it. And he's just taking one after the other. And you just knew, you said, what's the likelihood that he's going to toss that stack in the trash? Because he's not listening to you. Nobody was looking at you. And I thought to myself, how do you move on from that? I think a lot of people knew.
Yeah.
Is this a scam or what? Or are they traipsing on the dreams? I'm sure that somebody can get through into the business with that. But that's why I asked you that. So in light of that story, talk again about, pretend you've just come out of that meeting. Now what? What do you do? Now, mind you, okay, to be fair, this was years ago. I'm sure it's happening still now in a lot of different places, but it's still the same kind of meeting. It could be happening online. It could be happening on a Zoom call, on a webinar. It's still happening. But talk about, okay, what do you do next?
Can I ask you, how did you feel when you came out? How did you feel?
Like I wasted my time, and I knew that I'd wasted my time, and I thought, I am going to have to shift my strategy. If I want to do it, I can't do it like this anymore. If I want to do it, I have to reimagine or rethink how I see the business and how I see myself, and then move differently, because this isn't it.
Okay, now I had a similar situation, and some professionals in the business said there was a reason why you felt that way. If you felt that way, there's a reason why. I have left several meetings feeling that. And then I felt helpless and hopeless. What do I do? Well, number one, you don't give up. If you feel that way, there's a reason why. Pay attention to it. Do not ignore it. I always say, and you don't know what the universe is going to deliver to you. You don't, maybe everyone should have that experience for the sake of having the same results. This does not feel right. Forget you. Then you find another way. I attended something similar. Well, no, it was a stage full of casting directors down at Tribeca Theater. This was years ago. And so I was way in the back, and it was standing room only. People were sitting on the stairs. And the lady that did the casting for the E-Trade baby, she was speaking. And I asked her, for the sake of my friends, I said, does it cost to get into acting? She got so flustered. She was, She says, no, it does not cost a thing to get into acting. It does not. She says, anybody that charges you, report them to SAG, because she says, and even your managers and your agent, they get a separate check cut. So it's not even a deduction from your money. If you get a job, it's not even deducted from your money. The production company sends them a separate check.
This
So
is
you
the
get,
agent.
yeah,
Does.
the agent or if you have an
Wow, I didn't
agent
know
or
that.
manager, yeah, they don't get money out of your money. The production company, let's say you get a job with Macy's, or you get on Law and Order, your manager or agent gets their separate 10%, and you get your $1,000 as a day player. Okay, they don't deduct that money from your money. Two
Ooh,
separate checks. Okay, so and
that's
as I'm,
revelation right there for a lot of actors.
yeah, that
They
doesn't
get
come out of your money.
told that they have to pay the 10%, the 15% out of their money. Go ahead.
No, 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 no. So, and you know what? Let me tell everyone that's listening, you can always call or look on the Screen Actors Guild website, okay? Loaded with free information, even though you may not have an account, because I was there before I was a SAG member. I would do research there on their website. And you can, I don't know about calling, but I know I read a lot of stuff on their website. So anybody can go on their website and read. Anyway, so as she's telling this, she says, she got so angry. She says, it's a scam. It's a scam. Do not pay anyone to get you into acting.
Ooh.
And then as she said that, a woman, very glamorous, blonde, blue eyes, very beautiful, she turned her head back to look at me as if she was in the exorcist, as she did like this.
Oh,
Do you know it took me like almost 10 years to figure out when I would remember, I'm like, why did she do that? And then it dawned on me one day, because apparently, I guess she was gonna scan the audience. Since this was about casting directors, I guess she was gonna try and get some of us, But after she said that on stage about you do not pay anyone,
or
and
maybe she was already in it.
yeah, yeah.
She was
So
already in it. And she was like, I come to get more victims. But no, go
exactly.
ahead. Exactly. Go ahead. No,
So this is why I say get into, and I tell people, get into local theater, get
yes,
into
that's
local
important.
theater. And you can volunteer. Uh, it's wonderful. Or even Broadway. Go and volunteer to be an usher. The young man just got his Tony. He was an usher. The young man that wrote the play, I forgot the name of the play, but he got his Tony for writing, and he was the usher. And then he was on stage singing. He wrote his play. So if you can't get in one way, you get in another. If it's in you, you're going to do it. Oh, last night on Jimmy Kimmel Live, Imatsu, I'm sorry, I forgot her
No, go
name.
ahead, because I know that some of these names.
Yes, she was on Jimmy Kimmel last night. I'm going to find it because I was just looking at it before we connected. She pretended to be her own manager.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
She pretended to
I've
be
done
her.
that and have realized success. Yes.
Yes, exactly. And that's how she got her job on Young and the Restless. Yes. Meyatsi Corinaldi. She pretended to be her own agent. It's on YouTube, Jimmy Kimmel Live. And about 4 minutes and 41 seconds in, that's when she starts talking about doing that. So there are ways that if you don't get in one way, you get in another. And another thing a lady told me to do, one of our acting teachers said, why don't you write your favorite director? And why not? All they can do is tell you no, and you're already living on a no. Write your favorite.
How do you get the address? Like, what do you do?
What you do is you go on the DGA.org, the Directors Guild of America.org website. Now, I don't know if they still do it, but I reached out to a director. I loved what he allowed an actor to do. And I don't know, this was in about the vampires in Louisiana and the AIDS burger scene when that actor went off. And unfortunately, the young man passed away, due to alcoholism. But
Mm.
he, I mean, the way he portrayed, he was allowed to let himself go. I wrote to that director and I said, please, if you would allow this, I want to work with you, please. All he can do is tell me no. I'm already living on a no. Oh, well, move on. As long as, because when the
They're
final
telling you
curtain,
that you want to work with them.
yes, I did. I emailed him. I had his email address and I emailed him.
Wow.
So if I never hear from him, I'm okay because, oh, and let me tell you, uh, let me tell you someone to be admired, Fred Williamson.
Oh, yes.
Now,
Yes.
he is one you desire as a mentor because of his business savvy in the business.
Yes.
And Demetrius Angelo, he's an action stuntman. Wonderful. He has a wonderful Facebook page as well as a website. And he had Mr. Williamson on speaking on the industry and the films that he has produced.
Right.
And he's brilliant. If you want to be independent, let him be your teacher. And Mr. Williamson, I believe he does have a Facebook page now, because I searched earlier. But all I'm saying is reach out, ask. Somebody can say is no. You say, oh, okay. You either keep asking or you keep asking somebody something. Don't just sit here. If you want it bad enough, you will get up. Yeah, I got to eat. I got to pay the rent. I do that too. But always I stay connected to the industry when I got off work. If I have to go and sweep floors, if I have to lay cables and disconnect, it was fun. I mean, just stay connected. Now that I have my mom and I can't, well, let's put it this way. My dream would be, all right, LeVera, we want you for this series. I say, great. In my dressing room, I have a home health aide right there in the dressing room taking care of mom as I work on stage. That's the dream. It may or may not happen, but I'm okay. In the meantime, what I'm doing at home is I'm writing, I'm connecting. Connections make sense. And something else. If you're a jerk, work on yourself, because
it doesn't pay to be a jerk.
No, it doesn't, because as one casting director, I took classes at SVA. And so she was also in NIWIFT. And now her brother wrote for one of the major television shows. So you never know who you're talking to or walking with. So she and I would walk to the subway during class night. And she said, what difference does it make if you're talented, if you're a jerk to work with? No one will want to work with you in the business. So it is all about you, your passion, but it's also about you. Be good to people on your way up, because you will pass them on your way down. We do get older.
True. Oh my God, that is
Yes.
painfully true.
Yeah, we do get older, and make amends. Say, I'm sorry. I messed up and I'm so sorry, but we do get older in this business. And it's like Betty White. Look at the lady that played one of the queens in Black Panther. She was 98 years old, and it was her grandson that promoted her to do the audition. She wasn't going to do it. She did it. Boom, there she was. And unfortunately, she passed away, I think it was last year or the year before that. But she never gave up. You don't give up. It won't let you go. It will not let you go. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Okay, let me just ask you this one last thing.
Mm-hmm.
to the person that feels stuck, like and basically everything you just said kind of answers this question. For the person that feels just stuck, too old, not pretty enough,
Throw it in the garbage.
how
That's
do
an
they do that?
excuse not to do. Okay, first of
Like,
all,
no, let me qualify. Like, how do they literally do that? Because you know, if they get, okay, so they do all the head work, then they have to get up and go out and do it, and then they run into somebody. Look, in New York City, and they go to an event. So it's kind of like, what is the process between getting your mind right and then being savvy enough to know where to go and do? Like,
un-
what's that buffer there? Yeah.
okay, first of all, and I'll tell you, I'm really shy and reserved.
Mm-hmm.
Is to network. Unfortunately, you have to network. That doesn't mean you go up, hi, my name is so and so, and what do you do? It no.
I've done
Be
that.
your
Okay.
be your
Hence,
natural self. Be your natural self, you know, and if you're standing, by yourself, find someone else that's standing by themselves, by themselves. And you go over to them and you ask, just introduce yourself. That's how this young lady got connected with a production, because she was feeling awkward and she didn't know anyone. And so she saw someone, that her aunt, who told me the story, told her, whenever you're in that situation, find someone else that's just standing around. And so she went over to them, this lady. She spoke to the lady, hi, my name is so and so, and I'm kind of shy and, kind of awkward. And the lady was the same way. But this lady was from a major production company. And this young lady was, into being a producer. Well, guess what? They became friends, and that woman got her a job.
Wow.
So you have to network. Just be yourself. Be yourself. And I don't like it, but it's a necessity. There are so many online groups. There used to be meetup.com. I don't know if that's still in effect, but I have found, for example, even on Facebook, some groups on Facebook have websites, and you connect with people. Sure, there are going to be some jerks, and wanna, hey, no, I'm not here for that. I'm strictly business. This is here, and you'll know, and you have these experiences to teach you how to conduct yourself, how not to conduct yourself. Um, you owe an apology, say you're sorry, but keep it moving. And you have to get up. You have to because no one's going to come knocking at your door. Okay. I used to joke with my mom, Mom, you are single, you want a husband, then no one's coming knocking at your door. You have to get out. Now, of course, you have online this, online that. Take advantage of it. I don't like to be in a lot of social circles because of my mother. I don't want to bring something back home to her. So I'm always very careful. If I'm in a social event, I even, when we hang out at the senior center, I still, I'll have on my mask until we have lunch, or I'm in a confined circle of friends, But as far as all that, COVID is still real, COVID has changed the world, and we adjust accordingly. That's all.
Yeah. Well, that was a wisdom full.
Okay.
That was a wisdom full.
I hope it helps someone,
Oh, trust me. Well, look, I know it helped me, so I know it's going to help everybody out there. Hey, thespians, I know it's going to help. Listen, we're going to do a part 3. But for now, what we're going to do, we're going to close it right here, because I just want everyone to take in what you just said.
Okay.
And I want to thank you for sharing that, because it's so encouraging and there's a lot of wisdom there. And I want all actors to be inspired by this, to have some type of a new way of thinking about things, because there is no one way to do it, and you don't have to give all of your power to one person or one entity or one conversation. That's why I wanted to have this conversation with you. You know, this is gonna be a series. I know you saying you don't know about that. I know about that. We gotta add in things like the spiritual part and the decisions you're making, women of color and just women. See, we gotta cover all of that. But for now, what I'm gonna do, lesbians, is that this is me getting started. This is me having, you're my first conversation. You're my first guest.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So, you're going to see all these different flaws, what I'm doing in these little.
You're fine. Stop that. You are fine. Trust me.
Yeah, I thank you. See, but that's the thing. We need more of that. We need more of that. We need more sisterhood that encourages us and does it. So I definitely want to thank you, LeVera, for agreeing to come.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I didn't know I had this in me. Thank you.
Yes, you do. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You talking about me, I'm talking about you. Okay. So for now, lesbians, continue to master your craft, and I will see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. God bless.
Okay. Now stay tuned. Hang on.
Okay.